Hello everybody, Tom Bird, Incident Meteorologist here on the Calf Canyon Hermit's Peak Fire with Southwest Team 2. And we're here today to give you another weather update on what we're seeing and look at some other things too. Today what we're going to do, just like we did yesterday, we're going to start out with a loop of what's called true color visible satellite imagery. And that's here on the monitor right here. And what's really obvious is all these clouds that have moved in across eastern New Mexico and dammed up against the central mountain chain that runs north to south through the state. All this is moisture that came in from the southeast out of the Gulf of Mexico. So basically the Gulf of Mexico has washed up into New Mexico, so to speak. And what we're seeing here is the fire is right here where my finger is. And you can see that today we have low clouds on the eastern and the western side of the crest of the Sangre de Cristos, meaning that we've now gotten deeper moisture over the fire today. That has implications for later this afternoon. What we expect to happen is these low clouds will start to break up. We'll start to see some sunshine. Already, we're starting to see the high peaks of the Sangre de Cristos right there where the fire is start to break out of those clouds as they erode away. That'll give us some sunshine during the late morning and early afternoon hours. That sunshine will heat the ground and will regenerate new showers or new clouds, which will end up becoming showers and thunderstorms later in the day. So we want to go to our weather map for today. And so our first slide here is going to show us what the weather looks like for us today. I've got our area of interest circled in red here, so we can see that what we are is behind this cold front that moved through yesterday morning, and then it got reinforced overnight last night. And so that really moved in all this moisture. And you can see this moisture in this green hatch looks a lot like that satellite did. This is the area where we think we have shower and thunderstorm potential in the afternoon and early evening hours tonight. The best chances will be from 3 p.m. this afternoon until 9 o'clock tonight. So let's move to the next slide here. And this is that thunderstorm potential. And these are the areas of concern that you see. This is for today. And then we repeat this whole process again tomorrow on Friday. So in the red box, that's our area of interest. And you see this light green, that's just general thunderstorm potential. But this darker green is a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms. And with that, we're talking strong, possibly damaging winds and some large to moderate size hail, which also could cause damage. So that has implications for outflow wind gusts across the fire today that we'll have to be watching for. Of course, lightning safety for the firefighters out there in the field. And then lastly, a slight risk for isolated areas of heavy rain and possible burn scar flooding down into some of those drainages. So we'll be watching for all those things. Then tomorrow, we're still in it. We still have that moisture in place. And so although the threat interest moves to the east of us, we're still in that area of general thunderstorm potential. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, and this will be our weather maps for Friday and for Saturday. And I just mentioned that we're still within that moisture area tomorrow, so we still have that chance. We're talking a 40 to 50% chance today and again tomorrow for showers and thunderstorms across the area in the afternoon hours. But look at Saturday here. Saturday, all that moisture, or at least most of it, moves off to the east. That begins our drying that will persist through the weekend and well into next week. So this is a dry day. So Friday is our third day out of 3 days that we expected this moderated fire weather condition before Saturday. We move back into a more typical southwest weather pattern, which is typical for fire season. So let's move to the next slide. And what we're seeing here is our precipitation forecast, right? This is not what we know is going to happen, but this is our best guess at what we think is going to happen across the area. So on the left-hand side is kind of the area coverage of what we look at, what we see the rain. And you'll notice most of the heavier rain is off to the east in the Texas Panhandle. And as you move west into the Sangre de Cristos, you're seeing less and less potential for rainfall amounts. And actually this lighter green is anywhere between 1/10 and maybe 1/4 of an inch area-wide across the area. Now, some of these storms will provide more, and some areas will get nothing. That's just the way thunderstorms are. It's all hit and miss. So we look at the model guidance in the mountainous areas. This is 12-hour precipitation amounts for today and again tomorrow. And about 4/10 of an inch is what the models are guessing for the most likely rainfall amounts. If you get down to the low country, we're looking at about 0.3 on average across the area. Like I said, some areas will get 0. Some areas could get 3/4 to an inch because it will be more hit and miss. So let's go to the next slide. And we got to talk about what does this moisture. We've had great overnight recoveries. You know, before I got here, I've been here a long time, but then I left and I came back. We were getting single-digit relative humidity minimums during the day, and during the night times, we were only recovering to 20 to 30%. Now, relative humidity is the measure of how much moisture is in the air. It goes from 0 to completely, which is completely dry, to 100, which is completely saturated air. So you want numbers up closer to 100, not near 0. Well, the last several days before yesterday, we were seeing recoveries way down low, 30, 20%. But last night and the night before, we were seeing 90% and above. So we're starting to see a lot of good moisture over the area. And then if we do get some showers and thunderstorms that put rain down, that's a good thing. It slows everything down. It gives us a brief break from that hot, dry conditions. But because of what we're seeing here on this, and the reason these are here is just to show you that this is the percent of normal precipitation we've seen over the last 2 months and the last 3 months here on the right. And we're in the red. We're in the dark red. And that means we've seen anywhere between 0% to 25% of our normal precipitation for the last 3 months. It means we're super dry. So it's going to take a lot more than just a 3-day rain event to actually get us back up to where we should be. So that means the fuels are dry, and this won't put the fire out. It won't stop the fire. It just slows it down, gives us a break, allows us to do more work out there in preparation for these drier times to come. So we'll move on to the next slide, which is the drought monitor centered on New Mexico. So what you see here is our area of interest again, the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, in this dark, dark red. Now, drought can be moderate, severe, extreme, exceptional. Exceptional is the worst category of drought, and that's where we are in this area where the fire is. So, again, this rain is helpful, but it won't end the drought. It won't end the fire. So let's move on to, I believe next is our final slide, which is the matrix. This is the tool we use here on the fire that helps the firefighters and the overhead team, the operations section, kind of strategize and plan, gives them situational awareness of what to expect. So we use this and color code it for either moderated, which is what we want, the green boxes, or possibly critical fire weather elements, or extreme, which is what we don't want, the red. So you can see today and tomorrow, and even some for Saturday, you see some green boxes with slightly cooler temperatures. The relative humidities are higher, and the winds aren't so strong. But then we get to Saturday. I showed you that weather chart for Saturday where the moisture moves off to the east and we get back into dry conditions. You can see that here on the chart. Starting Saturday, relative humidity starts going down, and it goes down through the week. The temperatures start warming, and we get that west to southwest winds, and they become stronger again. So, in conclusion, what we've done is we've gone to a brief moist pattern right now, and again tomorrow. That gives us that break. But then Saturday, we move right back into that typical dry, warm, breezy to windy southwest flow pattern, which is typical of fire weather season. And remember, fire weather season lasts all the way through June in New Mexico. So we don't expect to see long-term beneficial rain until we get towards July. So that pretty much takes care of weather for the day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.